Why, hello there, my fellow thirsty survivors. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Oceaneers. Episode 2, Securing Sources of Fresh Water. Alright, now that I've picked up everything, let's inspect the island again. As you can see, the mess is a lot lower, but it is becoming overcrowded. As soon as we have more than 10 things built, there will be some penalties there. And I'm sure it's going to end up ugly because there's basically no way to avoid that on the starter island. So we'll have Marauder de-weed the weeds here, making the island a bit nicer looking. Now that we've got materials for a toilet, let's decide to put the toilet here. And I'm going to construct it and then get back to raft making. Louie and Throgarth, thank you for the resubs. So, yeah, it also just occurred to me that our colony has 3 dudes, so I guess we're really not going to repopulate the world. Probably. All right. As a result of all of that work, if we inspect the island again, now there's barely any mess. And the island beauty is going up. I think the only mess is the sand pile that you need a shovel for. So there we have our basic toilet. And our basic toilet has an internal waste capacity of 5. And it's not like 1 poo per waste, as you'll notice. It depends on how much they have to deposit, let's say. But when that fills up, we will need to do something with it, like create a waste bin. So I'm going to have Merps eat and then continue crafting this stuff for the raft. Early scavenging. You spotted some sharks. Too scared to swim? Yes, this means getting your feet wet. So you can scavenge the stuff in the water, just avoid the sharks, and if you get bit by sharks, it's not like instant game over death, but you should probably avoid getting bit because it will suck. There we go. So now the island beauty is no mess, no waste, which is good. And Marauder's going to start to gather driftweed patches. Now in order to make a raft, let's see what we're missing, because I used some material for the toilet. So I need 2 more rope. So after this rope, I need 1 more rope. Still on track for the raft. And then we're going to want to make the solar still. So the solar still is also going to require rope and a bucket. So I'm going to need to make 1 more rope and the materials for a bucket. So 1 more rope on top of that, and then 2 more rope on top of that, and then the bucket. So that's what's needed for the raft and a solar still. And I'll probably want more than 1 solar still, because 1 solar still might not be enough water for 3 people. Especially on a not so sunny day like today. Right now, I'm going to start salvaging the food crates out here and the science crates. Because this was patrolled by sharks, but it is no longer patrolled by sharks, so I might as well just get to it. And we have research solar still. Solar still is going to allow us to turn salt water into drinkable water, so we don't have to rely on drinking dirty puddles. Because nobody wants that. How big is the aggro range of the shark? Basically, if it swims past you as you're working, it will harm you. So all of this, for instance, is covered by that shark. next research. Let's see. I think I am... Look how the game's like, do fishing post. It's like, you don't know me. You don't know me. A burrow bed might be really nice. Or a... I don't think I need that. Waste bin. So, he's working on the bucket. That's the last thing I've queued here. And then we'll start making the basic raft. A clean water source is essential for survival. The solar still is a primitive device. Survivors fill it up, then wait for clean, drinkable water. Survivors can drink from the water producers, and then you can also put it in barrels to store it for later. So right now the water storage on this island is 0 because this dirty water pool does not count. Do the jellyfish attack too? They are there's something that you can collect for moon gel, but you need gloves tier 1 to do it. So they're not going to actively harm me, but I'm not going to be able to get them either. All right, solar still. I'm going to put you... right there. And let's build the still first. As I had mentioned, I'm probably going to want 2 of them. So I'm going to make another rope and bucket once this one's done. Marauder is going to need to sleep. Not yet, but soon. So the way these stills work is you fill them with salt water, and then over time, the sun will evaporate it and collect it to then create fresh water, clean water. So you have to fill it with salt water to prime it. Important! View, search, and replay tutorials from the handbook. Okay. So here we go. Now this primitive solar still is full of salt water, and over time it will clean. However, because it is rainy, it will take a little bit longer to do than normal. So we're going to continue to make another solar still, so I'm going to leave that priority over there alone, because we're going to want 2. On top of that, the waste bin costs planks and rope as well. So once we have what we need for the next solar still, I'm going to also want to queue up a waste bin to get ahead of our waste needs. Another thing that would be good for us to do is for us to maybe right... Well, I'm going to eventually upgrade burrow beds. So I'm going to put the campfire right here to be able to cook, because cooked food offers more nourishment than, raw food. All right, research for the waste bin is complete. Next up, I'm going to get a water barrel so that we can actually collect water and have it stored, which is going to be really important eventually for expeditions. All right, Merps, keep crafting. And Mandrake, salvage. Actually, Mandrake, let's build our raft. Because Mandrake, or Marauder rather, should probably, I mean, he doesn't like crafting. But our Merps, our salvager, should really be the one salvaging. And everyone is happy. Okay, name the raft. Well, I don't know what it's going to be named because it's going to be named after you guys. So, timer's up. And good luck. And let's have it be... Right-click the engine or paddle to drive the raft. Rafts can be used both at your home colony and while on expeditions. Left-click the base of the raft to select it, not the character. Larger rafts have more cargo space for expeditions. Raft speed depends on size, engines, and drivers. You can build a bigger raft. Alright, Marauder, I want you sleeping. Because we sleep in shifts. And Merp's just leveled up in crafting. Sweet. Okay, we made a wooden bucket. So... another solar still up there. Let's go ahead and construct the still. So as you can see, there's a progress bar here for the clean water. It's taken a while, which is why I wanted two of them. To ensure that we had lots of water. Because dehydrating to death, surrounded by water, would be cruel. Tutorial, toilets. Need to go? Then you need a toilet. Yes, you can go on the sand or in the ocean, but you'll get soiled. It's awfully embarrassing. Research toilets, build them, and then empty the waste once you're done. No one right now really needs to use the toilet, so I'm not going to bother doing that. And we have a new sand pile that needs to get cleaned up. So Merps, you're going to take Mandrake's shovel from him. All right, let's fill the salt water up. And then after that, construct, and then after that, dig. Queuing it all up. What is this? This is an orca. So, I did get a science cube for basic tech. It's an old float tech relic once used as a teaching aid for junior science techs. And this will boost like simple tech, and I'm going to use it to boost. So there's different tiers of technology. There's basic, there's advanced, and there's industrial. And the blue boosts basic. So I will be researching basic stuff faster from that boost that was over here. Okay, I'm not going to bother cooking anything right now, but we could cook if we added fuel to this to make like roasted berries or whatever. And the reason I'm not doing this is it's raining, so you don't want to cook in the rain. Cook. Survivors can eat raw meat, but cooked food has more nutrition and improves mood. It also extends spoil time. Find the ingredients, learn the recipes. Prepared meals are chef's kiss. and then you need to add fuel. And if it stops raining tomorrow, I'll cook some meals. But I don't want to bother cooking while it's raining because we have pretty finite fuel. So wasting fuel would be bad. All right. So now, current priority is build a waste bucket and water barrel. So the waste bucket is so that we can handle our waste, and that's 2 rope, 4 planks. So we have, we don't have enough plant fiber, so I'm going to have to break down some palm fronds for plant fiber. And then Marauder just woke up. So who's next most tired? Merps is. So Merps, you go to sleep. Marauder, you continue crafting. And the raft is named... Oh, excuse me. Manic Dark. How do I rename this? I forget how to rename rafts. It's going to be unnamed forever. Let's drive the raft. Another M name? Yeah, no kidding. And research for the water barrel just got done. Next up, I am going to go for the sleep nook. The burrow bed, rather. I swear, I know you can rename them because I did in my test play, but I totally forget. So now that we're driving a raft, well, the way this works is you can right-click an area and work on the area, and you can change the area size, and they'll just collect resources from this zone automatically. That gets triggered in the work area here. Yeah, I need the handbook for renaming rafts. There's driving rafts, but not renaming ones. Well, I'm not actively... Oh, you need a dock. Yeah. Okay. Well, Manic Dark, you'll have to wait until I have a dock. I forgot about that. So, Marauder does not like crafting, so I didn't want to force Marauder to craft. So Merps is going to be our salvager and crafter. Marauder, you're just a freeloader. I mean, I guess you can be our cook once it's not raining cats and dogs. The other thing I have to worry about is Marauder's body temp. Because it's cold and rainy and he's in the ocean. But there's no hypothermia warning just yet. So, should be okay. Alright, Merps is up. Merps, you're going to continue making the stuff we need for a waste bin and a water barrel. And then our researcher Mandaric will go to sleep. What to salvage next? What do I need? That's a good question. I need plant fiber and fronds. So I'll get the tiny bit of plant fiber in these patches, because I might as well, they're close to home. So the waste bin, once we start using the toilet, oh, here we go, day 3. And it's clear, perfect. Which means I'm going to drive the raft back to the island, and Marauder's going to start cooking. So in order to cook, we need to add fuel, and I'm going to add beechwood. Tell him to get off the raft, turn on the fire, and cook. And I'm going to make 2 batches of roasted berries. Roasted berries will increase its shelf life and will heal. It's a healing item. So if you're hurt early game, you can use roasted berries to heal. There's also soggy bandages that you can craft at the crafting table here, which gives health. And then if you're actively bleeding, the soggy bandages will help you too. And there we go. Making the roasted berries, and the roasted berries are going to be a good food and health source. Mandrick is up. Back to research. All right. Let's go and... So you can also eat from the raft too. So the food boxes are like a universal food storage, like a pocket universe, if you will. And after Marauder finishes this meal to fill up food and water, I'm going to have Marauder be the first to christen our porcelain, or in this case, palm frond and beechwood throne. So there we go. Using the toilet. Alright, work is done. Here's a waste bin. And I'll put the waste bin over by the wash closet, if you will. Constructing it. And then the next thing we want to build is the water barrel for water storage, which is going to be 4 wood planks, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 rope. 1. And then I'll queue up the last rope once the plant fibers are done. Actually, we'll do the plant fibers first, so I can queue up the rest quickly. So, here we go. We almost have a unit of waste. Well, not really. A little bit more than half a unit of waste here. And that's how that works. So I'm going to drive the raft, and then I'm going to tell them to work in the area here, because there is crates of fish out here left behind. And then there's also eggs here. And there was a shark patrolling this area, but they're gone now. So I might as well take advantage of their absence and capitalize on those resources. And turn off the campfire. I should have done that earlier to not waste fuel, but I didn't. So this is an instance where I gathered the resources off the island, if you can even call this an island. It's really just a floating sandbar or something, and it will sink eventually. And there's the waste bin. So the waste bin now allows us to store 30 waste. Eventually you turn waste into fertilizer for farming. But until you can use the waste builds up on your island and pollutes it for a massive mood negative, because the island will become disgusting. And what ends up happening is if you don't have a place to store the waste, like a bin like this, it will just create like giant mounds of poo that is horrible to be around. So it's important to get your waste management done early, or you're going to be stuck with some nasty. And we're going to be building a water barrel next. I'm hoping for the solar stills to complete their water filtration cycles so that Mandarik and Merps can drink from the solar stills for the first time, rather than to consume all of the coconuts, because coconuts are a really handy like backup food source that I don't want to necessarily waste. Now that we have seagull eggs, we can roast up egg on a stick recipe. Here, as you can see, there's egg on a stick, which is mood, health, hunger. Makes you happy, so it's kind of nice. And then, if we had a grill, which we don't, we could also make the roasted island salad, which is a prepared meal that adds mood per hour and hunger and thirst deplete slower. So prepared meals obviously have a massive benefit, and you should aim to have prepared meals when possible. After the burrow bed, maybe we push towards shower for hygiene. Possibly. Or even the primitive rain collector might be nice if it rains again. That's always nice to have to like bolster your water collection during raid. Island crumbles. Crumbles sink faster than you could say "Arr." Debris isn't the only thing flown out there. Leftover from failed islands, these crumbles are barely holding together, but maybe long enough to grab something useful. First are the small crumbles. Step on one of these and it becomes unstable. It's only a matter of time before it sinks. Then there are the mega crumbles. Stable enough, they won't sink unless you harvest everything on it. Stumps excluded. Unlike islands, crumbles never come back. So if this was a sinkable island, if you stand on it too long, you overwhelm its buoyancy and you make it sink. And then after a time, depending on the buoyancy of the island, it will resurface. The crumbles and the mega crumbles never come back. Once they sink, they're gone. All right, we're getting pretty close to that water barrel that we need. We just need the rope. Command queues. Thinking 2 steps ahead. Queue up commands by holding shift. Give your survivors manual commands to your heart's content. So you can, tell them what to do, what not to do. And then you can add an island work post to automate jobs, which we started one with. And then you could change up here whether it has manual control. Characters take care of their own needs when not busy with other tasks, or interrupts tasks to take care of their needs. I'm going to put everyone under manual control for now, because I've been manually controlling them already. But there's obviously different types. All right, so we have what we need for the water barrel. And I'll just plop it right there. And both of the first solar still that we built has clean water. So if we open up the food here, this is not where you drink from. If we had the water barrel, we could access the stored water. So let's get the water barrel so that we can demonstrate that next. Once you're done there, work here. Now, we're also going to want the materials for a burrow bed. which is more rope. Okay, now I can collect the water from this solar still, the one clean water that it has, and it will put it in the barrel automatically up to a limit of 5. So now that there's clean water in the barrel, if I have merps open up the food, I can have them drink from here instead. So I can eat and drink. I'm gonna have them eat, drink, use the toilet, and then go to sleep. And Mandrake will also need to eat and drink soon too. So Mandrake, actually take a break, collect water, fill salt water, and then after that, I'll have him eat and drink as well. Actually, collecting water is rather pointless. I'm just going to drink straight from the solar still to skip that step because it's really not necessary. And then fill salt water, You go collect this stuff. So you can see why I wanted multiple solar stills, and then possibly the rain collector as well, because, you know, we have pretty high needs of water. Ideally, I leave the seagull eggs for when we can roast it. So I'm going to try to avoid eating the raw eggs that are not cooked, because it's a mood benefit if we actually cook them first. So Merps is sleeping, but Marauder is also very tired, so Marauder will be next up in line. And then Mandrake. And I was hoping to get the burrow bed built, but, like, it's going to take a minute. And this toilet now has 1 waste to collect, and I have a storage limit of 30. And of course, you could make multiple waste bins, but ideally we won't have to. Hopefully we can rush farming tech before that becomes necessary. Does the raft have to come back to the island? No. Materials are immediately made available to everyone on this map tile. There are multiple map tiles, however. Okay, now that we have the burrow bed, I can start working on the expedition station. So prepare for the first expedition is going to be the priority. And Merps is up. Merps, go harvest by hand. The raft will be... Actually, you know what? Burrow bed is done. You immediately go sleeping. And then... Oh, you know what? Wait, actually, take that back. Marauder is more tired. So you are going to... The expedition station just need to be built. Let's start researching small cargo crate. While Marauder drops off the raft and then goes to sleep. I can have Merps now, our salvage expert, drive the raft instead. Oh, stupid crab bit me while I'm trying to sleep. Don't you piece of... Get lost. Nerd. So, here as you can see, he was pinched and his health went down. It will recover. He's not like actively dying or anything like that. He's just a little hurt from being... Well, he's also crabby. So, you know, these things happen. Can you not eat the crabs? You can, but you'd probably want like a weapon to do it. Like a spear. And that's not... We're not that desperate at the moment either. Alright. I do want to upgrade our beds. So, that's going to be another thing I want to do, is to get the 2 rope here queued up and done. So maybe when Merps is done salvaging the stuff, I'll have him head back and work on burrow beds. We have no research queued up right now, and I'm going to leave it that way so that Mandarik can craft what is needed for the beds. Because it's nighttime and rather cold out, Marauder's starting to get cold. Not so much that I'm going to have to turn back. And then the other thing you could do if you're really cold is you can fire up the fire and stand within its sphere of influence to warm up, too. Here, if we inspect the island, it is now officially net neutral because we have 10 things on it. And I did say that we were going to go into the negatives as soon as we build more stuff, which is going to be here in just a moment. So there's the 2 rope we need for the burrow bed. Alright, Merps, get to sleep. Marauder is going to collect water and then fill salt water. And... Marauder, and then Merps is going to continue crafting. Alright, Marauder. Let's have you drive the raft. And here we go. A burrow bed. Which has... It's nicer than the basic one. You can see it has installation and gains you more energy when you're sleeping at night, allowing you to speed through the sleep phase faster. So, if we want to go on an expedition, we are going to need the expedition station. So the plan right now is to build the expedition station and a rain collector. I would also like to be able to start collecting rainwater as well. So we're going to research that next. Switching beds. So if we want the let's start making what we need for the expedition station. So that's 3 planks, 2, 3, and then rope, which I don't have the materials for just yet. And there we go. Day 4 begins. And it's rain. It's too bad I don't have that rain collector. Also too bad that I didn't make those like eggs on sticks yet. So we recover faster in the burrow bed, and we're insulated from the cold, but like being rained on still sucks. All right, here we go. So Mandrick, you are going to be responsible for researching Primitive Ring Collector. Obviously, there would be a bit of a benefit to get this science cube to boost it, but this science cube is being patrolled by sharks. And the sharks are here for 19 more hours, so it's not like that's a viable immediate solution. We're just gonna have to wait. Ooh, I see a Mega Crumble. Let's go over to the Mega Crumble. You are gonna get the axe. There's also a rock pile. So seeing that there's a rock pile here, we're gonna want to get ourselves a pickaxe. So that's going to be the next thing we craft up. So work in the area. What are you doing? Drive the raft. Work in the area. Here we go. Thank you for tuning in to Oceaneers, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow islanders.